everyone. I'm here today with Colton Sweeney. Colton here is a cinematographer, photographer, and he is a contributor to Move Magazine. And Move Magazine is a magazine about parkour, and today Colton's here to give some insight about the parkour culture here in Atlanta.
Hi.
So Colton, tell me, what is parkour?
So parkour is a sport that focuses on traversing through urban environments as efficiently as possible. Some people like to incorporate flips and other gymnastics-inspired movements as well, but traditionally parkour is just efficient movement through an environment from a point A to point B.
So what is the parkour culture right here in Atlanta?
So the parkour culture in Atlanta is on a pretty rapid increase. Because of Ninja Quest Fitness, a parkour gym that got pretty big last year, it introduced a lot of younger people into the sport, and surprisingly some older people as well. The introduction of gyms has really become a pretty good marketing strategy for the sport and has helped grow it into a bit more popular of a sport. Yeah.
It's cool. So, what are the career options if you're really into it or serious about it?
Okay, so the career options for parkour are a bit limited right now. You've got a very selective group of people who are going to be working for something such as Move Magazine or Flow Gang Magazine. You're going to make some money doing competitions if you're extremely good. And your last option is pretty much going to be commercial usage in either advertising or stunt work in movies.
I know the movie scene here is growing in Atlanta, so how has parkour played into that?
So parkour has introduced a lot of stunt work into the movie scene around Atlanta. Most notably Marvin Ross, who has worked alongside Ansel Elgort and Tom Holland in films like Baby Driver or Spider-Man: Homecoming. We've got Brian Prince, who has just finished up working on Predator 2018. There's been some other miscellaneous roles, such as casting calls for work on shoe commercials and some other minor roles, but yeah, it's definitely growing.
That's cool. And I know you work for Move Mag. Can you tell us a little more about that and what you do?
Yeah. So Move Magazine is a parkour culture magazine that's structured similarly to Vox or Vice, and it pretty much goes in depth on things that are happening within the community, and it pretty much focuses on parkour culture. So events that are like fundraising for things such as Jump Fest, which is a big breast cancer fundraiser every year. Events like Art of Retreat, which is a pretty big one. And it just kind of goes into these things and covers it and helps promote it.
That's so cool. And what made you start parkour? I'm gonna run and jump off a platform and do a flip. That seems wild to me. What made you start?
Oh man. Okay, so my history of parkour has been pretty extensive. Back in 4th grade, I saw the original Storm Freerun Origins 1 video, and that kind of kickstarted everything. I went out to my school that I went to and was messing around, tried doing a couple vaults over a handrail, and I ended up falling on my face.
Oh my goodness.
And so I stopped doing it for a while, and then I picked it back up around 7th grade and was training it with a few friends. And then I kind of died out on it a little bit, and then at the end of 8th grade I got back into it and learned some stuff, and then ended up moving to Georgia from California, so I kind of fell out again for a little bit. And then about halfway through freshman year of high school, I got back into it and started getting a lot more serious and traveling around, training, meeting a lot of people, getting involved with the Georgia parkour community, and just last summer getting hired by Move Magazine.
So, what is the parkour scene like in California compared to Atlanta?
Okay, so the parkour scene out in California is pretty centered around very flowy, difficult maneuvers. Got figures like Jeff Garrido, who's doing some wild tricks. He just competed in Sweden, actually. You've got some other people like the Tempest Freerunning Academy and their athletes who do a lot more commercial work. And then for the East Coast and Georgia parkour, it's a lot more parkour-based movement. The community focuses a lot more on efficient moving, good technique, accuracy in your movements, and Most notably, I probably would want to say Marvin Ross or Brian Prince from the parkour community here.
So are there different styles of parkour, or?
Yes. So style is a huge thing in parkour, and it brings up a lot of controversy for the sport. There's people who are going to focus on more flowy movements that involve just nice, kind of like aesthetic looking moves. Then there's going to be people who are really speed oriented, who are just trying to go as fast as possible through an environment. You're going to have people who just want to focus on like big jumps and power moves. And then people who are like technique freaks and just love getting like the most perfect like technique.
So what is your style of parkour?
I probably call myself a technique freak. I'll do the same jump probably 100 times until it's perfect.
Wow, that's crazy. Well, thank you so much, Colton, for coming out here and interviewing with me today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.